I've one Messi Coder back again, this time with another live dev interview with Tricky Fast Studios, the people behind Cat Game Builder for Unity. It is the easier, faster way to make your games in Unity. You don't need to do any coding, and you can make any type of game, not just a character FPS or third-person game. You can make MOBA games, you can make weird card games, you can do anything you want. You can make Flappy Bird. We're going to show you how you can do that in this live dev interview. So sit back, enjoy, and I'll see you all in a moment. Whereabouts are you from?
I'm from Massachusetts, so United States.
It's the wonderful world of America.
Yep. And Turkey Fast is we're a virtual company, but pretty much everybody's from the U.S.
So you're virtually in the U.S.?
Yeah, we're kind of spread across. Well, mostly on the coasts, I would say.
Because I'm playing Simon and Garfunkel in the background of the stream. Nice to see you mellowing out there, Mgallo. Have you been watching any of the streams so far? Did you manage?
Well, I caught a bit of the last one, definitely. So
brilliant.
Pay attention.
You know what to expect. What kind of chaos awaits you?
Yes, that's why I was watching.
Well, tell you what. Why didn't you give us a little bit of I'm going to say like a little intro, a little hello to yourselves. Sure.
Yeah. So the audio coming through on that?
Yep, got you.
Yeah. So I'm Mike Enverger with Turkey Fast Studios. We're normally do a lot of contract development for other studios. Actually, right now we're working with Twitch on something, which is kind of funny.
Were you allowed to say, or was that top secret?
I could probably say it's a game called Twitch Sings. So it's.
Are you working on Twitch Sings? Like you, the developers, or one of the developers?
One of the developers. So it's Harmonix, us, and obviously Twitch. Yeah. I can't tell you what part of it we're working on, but we are working on it.
So is that using Unity at all for Twitch Sings?
I don't know if I can say or not.
Oh, don't get in trouble.
But you might be able to guess. Being
Unity developers and all.
Right, exactly.
No, yeah, don't give it away. Well, we had Jason Booth on earlier, who was one of the guys behind the whole guitar hero.
I didn't realize he did that. So I know Jason Booth.
So he's the man.
He was at Disruptor Beam for a while, which is one of our big clients.
He was, and he was just telling us about it on the stream. He told us before, but every time he tells it, I just have a massive smile on my face.
Yep. Yeah, he's a good guy. I didn't realize he was going to be on this. Just a segment if I had known.
See, nobody bothers reading anything that I write anymore.
I didn't see him on the list.
He's on the list
somehow.
Actually, it was a late addition to the list, so yeah, you get away with that one. So that's okay. I managed to just kill my monitors. So yeah, I rudely interrupted you when you said Twitch and got us all excited. So.
Oh yeah, I mean that was pretty much it. We did just a lot of contract development. We did a blockchain game recently. So I can give you the history of Cat Game Builder if you're interested.
Yes, please.
We were working with a company called Story Arc Media, which isn't exciting, but they did a game called Pop Tropico, which some people might have heard of. You kind of have to be like to know that one. It's like a kids game. It's kind of an RPG. So they were looking to sort of port that to Unity, and for that, unfortunately, they had like a really silly deadline, and it's an RPG, and they need to be able to like build out content super fast. So as part of that, we decided that the solution to that was going to be to build a visual scripting sort of environment, and that's where Cat came from. We ended up building like that game. It was between like this January and March or April, which is insane for building an RPG. I attribute a lot of that. I mean, obviously we have an awesome team, but I might be biased there.
So how big is your
but
team?
also, well, for that we had like 10 or 12 people on that. I would say we're about so not super huge, but we're all pretty experienced game developers, I would say.
Are you blowing your own trumpet? You're allowed to play your own trumpet.
Maybe a little bit. I mean, my team is certainly awesome. They do great work. I would. But yeah, I mean, so we built Cat as part of that, and up on time, and everybody was happy, and it was great. And then after that, we were kind of like, well, we kind of liked that thing. I bet it would be useful for other stuff. So we made a deal with them that we could, we basically rebuilt it from scratch after that, because they obviously owned that code. And and I should also mention that CAT stands for conditions, actions, and triggers. Conditions are kind of like, if you're a programmer, it's like an if statement, or it's like, is this thing, happening right now? Like, is the mouse button down right this second? And then you have actions, which are, do a thing, and then triggers, which are, they're a little bit like conditions, but it's more like event driven. So it's more like, let me know when the mouse button is down right now. And Cat also makes pretty big use of state machines as well together.
So who would you say is like Cat aimed at?
So that's a good question. So we kind of have a bi-directional focus, right? So on one side, we've made it easy enough to use that beginners can pick it up. Kind of weekend game developers, people who don't want to learn how to code but want to make a game. That's one audience, but our other audience has been actual professional game developers who like with our Pop Tropica game, they want to be able to put something together quickly. They want to be able to, the programmers work on a little bit of code and then be able to send that off to the game designers or junior programmers to build out the rest of the game, and kind of just efficient. And also, I mean, programmers are expensive, so the less time you have to pay them for, the better.
But so it's a great tool for prototyping for the artist or
that too,
the director who's got the idea and he wants to visualize it but doesn't necessarily know how to. Yep.
Yeah, that is also a great use of it as well.
And he's got the magic make my game button that somebody who purchases it can just click a magic button and the game appears.
Oh, I wish. It's not quite that easy, but we do try to make it as easy as possible to use. Like I think there's a Pong example in it, and I think it's got like showing the score. It's like got 4 different like things.
And you say that, let me load it up.
There should be a scene for that.
There you go.
Yeah, so it's like if you open up like...
I'm sharing my screen with you on Discord, by the way, so you don't have to worry about the lag.
Oh yeah, I was watching the stream. Let me flip over. Okay, let's see if I can just make that. Okay. Uh-oh.
So we've got a question. Big Game is saying, got future add-on modules will provide CAT integrated systems to make it even easier to build many genres of games. But are there any timescales on these modules?
So we actually have our RPG module is in beta. So kind of our plan has always been that we would start using Cat internally, which we have done. We shipped a game with it. It's just about there. And then as we build other games for other clients, if we can convince them to use Cat, then we would, build the add-ons as part of that. So we've been working on an RPG lately, which I can't talk about, but as part of that, we've built out pretty much the whole RPG add-on. Started beta testing it in December with so far like 1 or 2 people. Want to get in on that, they should contact me in some way. But it's a full like all the RPG systems, like inventory and dialogue and all sorts of NPCs stuff. And it's all integrated with our system. So as I was saying before, like it's super simple. Like you got the right paddle, so that's the AI paddle, I think. Like, a reset state and a playing state, and in the playing state, all it does is just like follow the ball. There's like one thing in it. It's super simple.
And these little, this reminds me of like Playmaker, where you've got these little icons to show people this is where your script is sitting on this object here.
Yep. Yeah. That one particular icon is saying that it's a state machine.
And if I let me make sure it's not big. Yeah, that works. Might as well play. Did anyone win the Procedural Dungeon Toolkit? There was a lot of winners. There was 5 winners of that. Churden, Tordifu, VR Game Zone, Lex Wayne, and Afix. Lots of people won it. Lots of winners. There were lots of winners. And we'll have 2 winners of Cat Game Builder. And if you're wondering how much Cat Game Builder would set you back in the real world, if you do !Cat Game Builder in chat, you'll get a nice link to the asset store with a short link of bit.ly cat GB. And it's $100 in American money, and 2 lucky winners are going to be getting it for free. Thanks to the generosity that is Tricky. Oh, 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 oh.
It's not necessarily the best Pong game, I will say, but
yeah,
it is a very simple example.
Player. Yeah, I beat him though. As I was saying, Tricky Fast Studios' generosity are not only making you a Pong example, that you can easily just click build, asset flip it, and stick it on Steam for 60 quid.
Yeah. There's definitely a whole bunch of examples that come with it. A good scene to look at, there's actually an example browser scene.
Oh, I was actually thinking about that. For doing something for this stream.
So that menu is all also done in Cat. Like everything you see, there's no extra code for anything. So we have a whole bunch of different games you can play. There's the RPG that actually doesn't use the Cat RPG add-on. Or of course you're going right to the toilet game.
Drag. That's what I put
so,
this. Hang on.
Happens when I created a prototype game, and then I think you just lost. Oh. Game with like no art, and I handed it to an artist, and I said, "Here, make some art for me." What he came up with.
This is awesome. Oh. Oh.
It's challenging.
Oh, damn it. Yep, I'm asset flipping that. I'm going to make a...
One of our engineers actually suggested that we like try and like release that separately.
You should.
There's not really much to it.
So this is your Flappy Bird.
Yes. Yeah, we had to have a Flappy Bird example.
I've never actually played Flappy Bird. Am I the only person who's never played it?
Wow. I think it doesn't like your screen aspect ratio.
Nah. That's what happens when you have it all crammed in. If I change that to be something legit. If I win, I spend my $100 on the Steam dev fee and flip that toilet. So, you seriously saying that not a single line of code needs to be written?
No, none of these examples have. I mean, obviously there's the code that we made to build cat, but there's no specific code for any of the examples. They all use the like standard cat components.
So hang on. So let's have a look at the scene here itself. Yeah. So
to see like all the different components in the inspector on the right there.
So we've got
that's each one of those
icons.
So the top one, the bird has a state machine icon, and then state.
One start. Feed in.
Yeah. Yeah, you can browse it in there.
And that one is for
That's another state, yeah. Like in the inspector, it shows everything you've selected and everything below it. Ease of viewing. So yeah, if you select the end thing.
So what's your I mean, who's your main competitor on the store? That like is this like a playmaker kind of thing, or is this that's where you see yourself?
Yeah, very much. Definitely our big competitor, although pretty soon Unity is going to be our big competitor. It sounds.
I was about to say, like, how does that affect you guys?
Actually, I had a discussion with them. Yeah, Friday. I was gonna say yesterday. Yesterday was Friday, right? Yeah. I was talking to them yesterday. The team that's
technically yesterday was Saturday now, so yeah.
Okay. Only just barely for me though. I don't know. We're talking about it. Figured out it's going to still be a while before they come out with anything anyway, and their thing might be more akin. I don't really know for sure, but I assume their thing's going to be more akin to Blueprint. So one of the like main things that we decided to do to kind of differentiate from a lot of the other like visual scripting solutions is that it's more higher level, whereas like Playmaker to some extent, and especially like in Unreal Blueprints, you're kind of just like doing visual scripting to the actual scripting API of that engine. So there's a lot of work to it, and you kind of basically have to understand how to do scripting. Whereas we tried to make Cat a lot more like user friendly, I would say.
It's more about learning how to use the interface than it is about learning the code.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You have selected now, that just like finds the score text. What does it do? It just sets it to press space to flap.
How many different examples have you got in your... Oh, let's look at the RPG one. So this is not using the RPG...
No. So I mean, since the main Cat is pretty kind of general, you can make RPGs with it. You can make all sorts of different games with it. But the add-ons that we're going to be adding kind of just make that a lot easier. So like with this one, there's so if you walk over to that Yukiyu guy, I don't know how to say his name. You click on him.
Oh, help!
Yeah.
There's an evil
Again,
monster
it doesn't like your aspect ratio.
You look strong enough to get rid of it. Can you help? Heck yeah.
Yeah. With a quest system, which is one of the RPG systems certainly, but base Cat does come with that.
And it's got dialogue as well. Like we just saw here.
No, the base one doesn't have dialogue. That was all just done with. Same with like the very minimal combat in this example.
Now let's go. Where is he? Where's the bloke I'm supposed to kill? Find the monster. Where's... Oh, that must be the monster. Looks like
the monster.
Looks like a strange... What on earth is that? Oh my word.
You can just kind of spam click them.
Oh, can I? Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. I thought I was doing some technique to it. Yeah. Oh, bloody hell. But with the your RPG add-on, you'll be having a dialogue system and all that kind of shenanigans.
Inventory, a more complicated combat system than just clicking on the thing.
Yay, I got 500 gold.
You can do it again if you want.
No, it's okay.
So the way we came up with these examples was basically like anytime every new developer we brought into the project, their first task was kind of to little game they could build and then build it. All these examples came from.
So that was their challenge. It was, okay, welcome to the team, now make something.
Exactly, and as they built it, they would, I mean, obviously learn the system, but they'd also like come up to a roadblock and be like, oh, well, I need this thing or that thing, and then it's like, okay, go make that.
I'm going back into the
that's
toilet.
Pretty much. I do actually like that game. That one's kind of fun.
Oh, come on, that was in. Right, let's put that on there. Is there going to be crafting in your RPG?
Yep, there is crafting. Yeah, I mean, pretty much anything you can think of in terms of normal RPG systems is in there.
When's it coming out? In a couple of days?
I wish. So basically what we have left is we have to do documentation, like user documentation, and also we have a like big example, which is like pretty much like a if you could do that, that's pretty amazing. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
I didn't even know you could do that.
I do it.
Anyway, so we have a like pretty like complete example. It's kind of like a whole like zone from an RPG, I guess you could say. It's all programmer art. So we have an artist working for the next few months to put that together. Not programmer art anymore. Once that plus the documentation is done, it's ready to go. So I would say a few months still.
So all of the work that you guys do as freelancers, as people contracting you for work, so that is everything now like done from within CAT?
You can double jump, by the way. No, it's not. It depends on the company. So obviously we try to do that because that makes it everybody. But for instance, come in and the game's already partly done. There's no way we can do that. But if we're starting something from scratch, that's usually what we'll do.
And there's like, because you said before about how when you're doing that first job, you had to get permission to do it, and then you basically rewrite it from scratch anyway.
Yeah, that's because we wrote it, and they paid for us to basically write the first version of it. That, but we just made an agreement with them that if we rewrote it from scratch, which was a good thing anyway, because a game with it, we're like, oh well, it would work better if we did this, that, and the other thing. Rebuilding it from scratch kind of, gave us the opportunity to fix our mistakes.
Well, yeah, the first time you're making something is effectively it's a prototype. So the fact that you got paid by somebody else to make your proof of concept was quite nice for you.
Actually, I happen to agree. And then, so what we've been doing since then is, if we're going to use CAD on a project, we always try to make the deal so that that we make during the project, we get to pull them back in. Gotten a bunch of stuff into CAT from that.
Oh, nice. So any functionality that you build around CAT, this demo is like...
I've noticed that happens.
Wow.
And
that's what I'm here for. I'm here to break your stuff.
2018 thing. It doesn't happen in 2017. I don't know why. But for some reason the colliders don't work very well in 2018 with this scene.
There you go. Hey.
Not the best demo. Anyway,
I managed to break everything, don't I? Oh man, you're talking about spectrums. God, this is my favourite game on the Spectrum, this was. Oh my word, I'm asset flipping this. I am flipping this as quick as you like. So we had a question like, is this mainly for like 2D games? But yeah, it's pretty much anything you want to throw at it.
Yep, it should work for 2D, 3D, whatever you want. Pretty much any genre of game. The only thing we've definitely noticed that there's it's not as good for is games where you've got like a limited set of moves. So if you wanted to make chess with it, that would be a little bit more difficult.
Why is that?
Right now? It's just it needs a little bit some more systems to kind of handle like discrete moves. So like, okay, well, the knight can move like this way, and if lands on somebody else, it just person working with that type of thing right now. But that's something we're going to be addressing either in an add-on or just sure at some point.
We got questions about RTS or turn-based games. Would they be?
Yeah. So
would they be okay?
No. We didn't end up including it in the examples here, but I did make an RTS example, and that was pretty easy actually.
Really? Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that it's particularly awesome for is like NPC AI. So like all the little like.
Oh, lost you there.
RTS.
Say that again. We lost you.
One of the things.
Here we go. You back.
So we're saying one of the things that it's really good for is doing like unit AI and stuff. So is it in a following mode? Is it in an attacking mode? And that's a big part of an RTS, and it's particularly good at that for sure. Turn-based. Let's see. I think we've done some turn-based stuff with it. Remember, but I mean it's.
I can't. Wow. Have you got like a website on your website we can download more examples? Or is these?
This is it. Pretty much it for the examples. You can go on the website, and I hope there's a link to it. But there's just like a WebGL version of the examples that you can just play in your browser too. But it's the same exact thing.
Afix is saying Diablo ARP. I never played Diablo. I wouldn't. But can you make a Diablo type game for those who know what it is?
I don't see why not. I mean, especially with the RPG add-on, you would have a lot of stuff because you can do like combat and stats as you saw from that other RPG, but to do it extent of complexity in a like Diablo type game, you would probably want to use our RPG add-on.
Have you got any good question about integration with other assets? That's one other thing, like things like Playmaker. It's been around for so long now. It's integrated with so many other assets on the asset store.
That's something we've wanted to start doing, but haven't so much had the time for. Although I think we haven't released it, but we do have a spine integration. We should probably release that at some point.
Release your things, man. Release them into the wild.
Right? Yeah, I mean, for those, for most of those, I would plan to generally release them for free. I mean, you're already paying $99.
But yeah, giving people stuff for free is always going to encourage them to pay $99 for the base stuff if they get more stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean that's something we definitely like want to avoid, and it's something we've been having a discussion about with the RPG add-on. It's like, okay, well, 99 plus what for the RPG? That seems like a lot. So we've been trying to figure out the pricing, how that's going to work, which we haven't decided yet.
And your tutorials are your live videos that are on the web on your YouTube.
Yep. Yeah, there's videos for building a few of the examples that you went through, and then a few other ones.
And you got documentation that's available.
Yep.
Just looking at now, we got 83 pages of how many?
Yeah.
Actually, more than 83 pages. Oh my word! Some good documentation.
We also have there's a glossary that just goes through every single different condition, action, or trigger. It has like a description of it. Yeah, we wanted to make sure that our documentation was pretty complete, and that's the same thing with the RPG. That's kind of what's holding it up right now. That and the art.
So you didn't want to go down that whole. Everyone's gone down this node route these days.
Oh yeah, good of you to bring that up. So yeah, so there's a reason why we did that. So I mean, my history, you know, I've worked at AAA game studios, and also, well, I call them AAA indie, so like they're fairly big budget indie stuff. You know, and I've had a lot of experience with the node-based editors, not or anything like that, but other ones, and my experience has always been that they turn into spaghetti after a while. They're just completely unreadable, and then you end up with like one dude at the studio who knows how to navigate it, and if that guy gets hit by a bus, then you're in trouble. We kind of wanted to make it a lot easier to like kind of reread what's going on, and to kind of like make it, I guess, scalable is probably the right word, so that you know, it could scale to a bigger game, and that's why we went with pretty much kind of mirroring how Unity normally works in terms of like visualizing or showing and using that.
Have you? Well, good question here about. Could I use it base to create a multiplayer game?
That is one place where we haven't done a lot of testing.
Ooh.
So that's probably a future thing that we will be doing, because we do get that request a lot.
I would imagine you get it every day.
So I mean, it depends on what you mean by multiplayer. If you're talking like real-time multiplayer, then yeah, that's something we need to do. Some more probably work on to integrate it into options that are out there, I would say.
I suppose turn-based multiplayer would be easier.
I mean, there's a lot of other sort of, I guess you could say, like stubbed out pieces of it that come with it, which are kind of they're there so that you can, if you have like a back-end server or something like that, for like sort of asynchronous multiplayer, then it works with that. But obviously you do have to write code for that, because you know, we don't know what you're doing for your server. But it's stubbed in, like one of the main things is so there's like you know, save your game, and it's a version that ships with cat just saves it on the device or on your computer or whatever locally, right? But it's built in such a way that it's easy. If you wanted to save it on a server somewhere, you could do that. A lot of that sort of stuff with it.
What would you say is the most complex game that you've made with cat so far?
Oh, yeah, that's an easy one. So we made a game called Treat Fighter. Actually, a blockchain game on the Zaya platform. It's so the front end of it is 100% cat. Unfortunately, the way the platform works, the back end of it, which had like interfaces with the blockchain and all the stuff that like has the game rules, that wasn't cat. But the front end of it was 100% cat, and that was a pretty complicated, you know, full game. It was a lot of UI, I would say, though.
Have you got a link that we can stick it in the chat so people can? If you stick on my Discord?
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, treatfighter.com will get you there. It's a little bit difficult to set up and play because you need the cryptocurrency that it runs on, and that's a whole thing to get that.
Everyone loves some cryptocurrencies in their life. Although when my first was born, was gonna buy a load of Bitcoin because I just needed I needed them from something, and
Right.
ended up just as I was about to do it, the hard drive of my computer that I was going to use died. I was like,
Oh
well,
no.
good thing I didn't do that then. I thought to myself, that would have been a waste of like 50 quid.
Oh yeah,
And
totally.
then realised afterwards that had I actually gone through, it was like 100 quid or something I was going to buy, then I could have bought a couple of houses with it now. So,
Yeah.
yeah, time machines. That's what you need to be making for people. Time machines.
Exactly.
So this is the one. Treat Fire. Join the overlords of Canadoom.
And can do? I don't know how to say it actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a like a sort of a character collection game. So you build like treats out of candy, and then you can have them fight each other, and you know upgrade your treats and that sort of thing. There's a video of it somewhere I could go to, but I might be able to find one if you're interested.
Isn't there one on this?
I don't think there's one on there. We have a video that we haven't posted yet that I can't show you.
Don't get in trouble. Don't get yourself in trouble now. Hang on, if I just go to YouTube and just type it in.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna go give you. Oops. Right, our first play video.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was just about to go to Street Fighter.
Yeah, so it's fairly UI based.
So all of this is all the front end stuff. Cat.
Yep. Everything that you see is cat.
Is he saying treat fighter like a dog treat? Like, yes. Not entirely sure it's like a dog treat, but yeah.
Yeah.
So how does it work then? What's the concept of? Because they're not actually fighting, or is it like statistics?
Yeah, you don't actually see the fighting. It's so you can join a tournament, and that's against another character. And since it all happens on the blockchain, it's actually I don't think anybody else has built anything like this, quite like this, which is kind of cool. Happens on the blockchain, so it's like it's provably fair. And yeah, and this guy's, he just sent a couple guys into a tournament, and now you wait until the tournament's done, and then you can find out whether you won or not.
Well, it's certainly different, isn't it?
Strangely addicting too.
Really?
Yeah, like when we were developing it, I would just for hours because it was fun.
But you're like, it's costing you the crypto, isn't it?
Yeah, not a lot. I mean, well, right now actually it doesn't cost much of anything because it's still in beta. We're just like kind of finishing it up. Have some blockchain issues that we need to work out, but it's actually super cheap to play. Like, you know, like $1 will get you way more than you ever needed. Hard to get the currency.
And that dollar will suddenly turn into millions with the...
That's the hope.
Oh, man. That's cool. So, basically, we don't have a magic make my game button, but
no.
We've got a magic make my game UI. So you don't need to... You spend your time learning how to use cat rather than learning to code, and then your productivity, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I find as a programmer myself, like my productivity, because I'll just, you know, I'll write like a couple little things, and then you can use them anywhere suddenly. Especially with the other game systems, like the quest system and stuff. It makes a little bit of code go a long way.
Well, you need to. That's the thing. You need to be making more of these add-ons.
Yeah.
Giga was asking, can you make a trading card game like Magic?
I mean, very, very difficult game. We did many years ago. We made a spec version of a like global magic game for Wizards of the Coast, and just for like 20 or so cards, that was a lot of work. And we weren't using this; we were just programming it all. But it was way before Cat. But I mean, you could. So Treat Fighter is effectively very similar to a trading card game, except for you don't have all the crazy rules that Magic does. The rules are pretty simple. So, yes and no.
I've only played Magic like twice,
Right.
so
I've played it a lot.
I was just randomly clicking buttons, and then I was like, "Oh, I've won all these," because you've got this do 5 levels as the intro, and I did that, and I was like, "Oh, I've won." Okay, I don't know what I've done now, so I don't know how I won. I know that I've won.
Right.
So I can't even imagine where I'd begin to code such a thing.
Yeah, that's difficult. I mean, a simpler version of it, yeah, sure, you could certainly do that in Cat.
Have you thought about going over to Unreal with Cat or anything else?
We have thought about it. Almost convinced a potential client to do that. I mean, the problem with Unreal is that you've got blueprints already over there, so you're already fighting an uphill battle.
Yeah.
What we thought about doing is kind of building a kind of an add-on for blueprints that would encompass a lot of the things that Cat does. Direction we would go if we ever went over there. But I mean, for now, like 99% of the work we do anyway is in Unity, so it just makes sense for us.
You might as well just keep living at home. Don't move out.
Right? Exactly.
Well, should we make some people very happy? Let's open this up. Let's make some people happy little badges. Do exclamation mark raffle to get yourself a copy of this $100 game builder kit. We've got 2 copies to give away. As I say, this is $100. Exclamation mark raffle, not a waffle. You need to be a follower if you want to be winning a game kit that'll let you make games, not write any code, and make yourself rich. Or you could do what I'm going to do and just load up Pong and asset flip it. Stick it on Steam for 60 quid. Hang on, let me try it. Come on, you can do it. That ball's going to take ages to get here.
Yeah, that is one of the problems that we probably should. Oh, now it's going to take forever to go back. It's a very simple Pong example. So, I mean, part of our reasoning for including Pong was just because it's so simple. We didn't do much error checking, though.
It'd take 20 years to get back. Does it have a function to hide the mouse cursor?
That's a good question. I don't know off the top of my head. There's a lot of different actions, and I don't know if we have one for that or not.
Well, you need one. Come on, put one in.
Yeah. It would be super easy to put one in if we don't have it. We probably do have it. We have a lot of them. It's
probably called the hide mouse cursor one.
Most likely, yeah.
Okay, Giga was saying, I'm going to flip Pong while he flips the brick game. Actually, I want to flip the brick game.
Flip the toilet game?
I love the toilet game. Especially the fact that we've worked out that we can just go like this. Now the question is, can I go from bottom? I can. Oh, wow.
A whole new way to play.
Yeah. Because now look, it goes wibbly wobbly at the top. Entries have stopped.
But you know what? If you knock the plunger over, I don't know that you lose. I think it's only if you knock the toilet paper over.
No, come on. That can't be. Hang on, let's pick a winner. Oh my god, the kids are awake and they're squeaking. Can you hear them squeaking? It's scary. It's like something out of a horror movie. Oh my god. I've won again. Call me aces. Call me aces is just, that's it. It's all winning.
Nice.
And hang on. Let me stick your name down on my thing. Entries are open. I think, yeah, if you're going to stay here for 14 hours, there is a good chance that you could be winning stuff. I've got to put the raffle in for fresh meat. Don't forget to put your raffles in. I want to get this. Oh, come on. It's actually harder doing it this way, believe it or not.
I bet.
Because now it doesn't go up with the rest of them. So you don't even see what's going on at the top.
You can kind of see it in the shadow.
Oh. This is awesome. Don't forget, exclamation mark raffle. Give me an exclamation mark cat game builder as well. Oh. Oh. No. Oh.
There it goes.
I thought I was going to say you don't lose because he hasn't even acknowledged that. Oh, man. You got 100 points, though.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Hang on. What if I just chucked it up in the air?
Actually, I wonder if you could chuck them over the
Look,
side.
did you see that?
I've never tried that.
I've chucked it up in the air. And now...
Oh.
I'm up.
Did you break it?
Yeah, evoke it. Evoke it. So, look, I'll show you how I did that. Hang on.
Yeah, see, you didn't lose the
No,
thunder.
you do. Look, that you do.
Ah.
Right, now. Oh, come on. Here we go. No, but this is, look, you do this. Watch this. You ready?
Oh, hey.
See, this is why you need to give me a job as working in the QA.
Right?
If I put it up here like that. Look at that. Oh, come on. Oh, edit it. Oh, there we go. Got it over the wall. Got it over the wall. That's what the game is. Get your toilet paper over the wall. Right. The winner is Distant Temples. Distant Temples. You're a winner. I want to see some amazing games out of you guys. I want to see you making your toilet paper. Congratulations. Don't forget, grab yourself over on Cat Game Builder on Unity if you haven't won. And if you have one and you do play with it and you do like it, don't forget to leave a comment, leave a score on the asset store. And yeah, if you want to tell them where you got it from the stream, the anniversary stream. Stick a little. Oh, she got beaten up. Come on, jump on it. So who makes all your drawings and stuff?
We have a couple artists actually that worked on it.
Because you need to be selling your art packages as well. That's another load of assets.
We thought about that. Like 90% engineers. So, sort of thing is more up our alley.
Wonder how I can break this one. I'll try to break this demo. Well, mate, you'll have to come back once we can get more time to play about and really put this to its tests.
Sure, sounds good.
And
we'll have the RPG.
Break. Yeah, oh yeah, exactly. Once you've got the RPG ready, come back on, and we'll make Skyrim.
Sounds good.
Right.
Yeah, you can flip the RPG example too.
I've already planned it. I'm already there. You're two
Nice.
steps behind me, mate. I've already got a name for it.
Right?
It's all going to be about avoiding cat poop that cats leave outside office doors. Although I've got to be quiet.
Actually, it's kind of
Tell me.
it's kind of funny. The Pop Tropica company. So when we built Cat for them, we were calling it Cat, but since there was the state machine part, they really wanted to call it Scat. We talked them out of it though.
They could have kept it. They could have had that name. You've got the cat name. They've got the scat name.
That's true. That is true.
Or someone's got Cat Rim. Cat Rim just sounds really wrong in every sense of the word. I don't think that's going to be marketable, to be honest, mate.
I don't think so.
All right, pal. Thank you so much for coming in.
All right, thanks for having me. It was fun.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Congratulations to the winners, and we want to see some games made of that, not just flipped on the asset store like me. Catch you later,
Cool.
buddy.
All right, later. Thanks.
Well, that was it for another live dev interview. I hope you had fun and enjoyed yourselves. You too can take part if you pop over every Fridays and Saturdays at orderws.twitch.tv/themessycoder 9 PM GMT time. If you want to know what it is in your time zone, use Google. So don't forget to tell all of your friends and neighbours. If you do like it, click it. Till next time. If you want to see more of my crazy videos, click on the left side of your screen now. And down below, there's that big juicy subscribe button. And right next to it is the magic bell that if you click it, it will tell you if I've got a new video coming out. Till next time.